Good evening, good evening. Thank you all for being here to the No Cap Show with Chit Chat with QT and Pink Table Talk. Thank you all for being here. How everybody doing on this Friday? I hope it all is well with you. I'd like to thank the mods, first of all, Teresa Wright, Mary Willis. Thank you for being here on the No Cap Show on this Friday. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Welcome. Hello, Brittany, Janae, Rose Armstead, Gia Jorna. Thank you for being here. Our show tonight is going to have a lot of ups and downs. So I thank y'all all for being here and I hope y'all enjoy it. Hello, Sonia, Dai, Monique, Purple Queen. Thank you all for being here. Hey, Cece, Cheryl, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. My co-hosts, I see them coming. Hello, Chit Chat with QT. I've dropped the link. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. And let's have a real good time on this Friday. Let's have a real good time. Well, hello.
Hey, Aunt Debbie. How are you? Can you hear me, Aunt Debbie? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Aunt Debbie.
Can you hear me?
Aunt Debbie, can you hear me? Chat, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can y'all
No.
hear me? If you can hear me, put a one in the chat.
Uh-oh. Aunt Debbie, go out. Let's see.
Can you hear me now, Chit Chat?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Chat, you can hear
Cece
me?
can hear me. Mary can hear me. Can y'all hear Chit Chat? If you can hear Chit Chat, put a one in the she's
Testing,
hello.
testing.
Testing. Hello. Testing, hello. Oh,
I can't hear you. Now you on
can't hear
mute.
you. Now you on mute. I put myself on mute. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me get out and come back in.
Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Teresa Rice says a terrible echo. Hello?
Can you hear me, Aunt Debbie? Okay, it's Aunt Debbie's speaker. Chat, if you can hear me, please say we can hear you
I
chit
can't
chat.
hear her.
Somebody. Because I'm gonna call Aunt Debbie back. Where's
Let's see what's going on.
King Diva? Is that to me, Teresa? Okay. Let me call Aunt Debbie back. Thank you.
We can hear you. We I can hear you, Chit Chat. Well, why can't I hear her? I can't hear her.
Hold on, guys.
Let's see. This will work.
Okay, you guys can hear both, but Aunt Debbie can't hear me. So I gotta I'm gonna call Aunt Debbie and then I'm gonna call Pink Table Topics to see where she is. I'm calling Aunt Debbie now.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, Aunt Debbie, can you hear me?
Can you
Aunt,
hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Aunt Debbie? Okay, Aunt Debbie, you still on the phone? You still on the phone?
I still can't. I can't hear.
Okay, guys, give us 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, guys. We are trying to get Debbie. Oh, I can present. Oh, because you're not up here, I guess. Pink Table Topics is restarting her computer, and Debbie is gonna come back in. So give us 1 second.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
I can hear you, Debbie. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Debbie? All right, I'm gonna mute again, chat. Hold on.
Okay, and Debbie, you still here?
I'm here.
Okay, but
You can't hear me on YouTube.
I can't hear you.
okay. So mute your YouTube.
Okay.
Wow, I can't believe that. Uh-oh.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Hold on, Debbie.
You restarted your computer? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Debbie?
Debbie.
Yes.
Yes. Mute the screen, y'all.
Oh, 1 second, chat. We are coming. Yes, the devil is busy, Brittany Janae. Goodness gracious. Pink Table Topics is here. All right. I see sis got in. I'm gonna have to check this option once Aunt Debbie come back up here. Aunt Debbie is rebooting, guys, but happy Friday.
Is coming back. HP, come on, come on, come on.
Take your time, Aunt Debbie. We good. We good. Take your time. It'll load up. But welcome everybody. Please hit the like button on your way in. Welcome to the No Cap Show. Sis, you can either scroll up and click the link, or once Aunt Debbie is back, she will drop the link again. You won't be able to get up though until Aunt Debbie is back. But welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna say some quick hellos. Aunt Debbie, let me know when you back up. But I'm gonna scroll up. Shout out to Linda Gamble, Teresa, Deborah, Mary. Let's see, Brittany, Janae, Rose is here. Gia, Sonia, Titi, Monique, Purple Queen, Cheryl Canada, Capricorn Flower, Miss Tina, good evening. All right, let's see. I'm still scrolling. Monique Rutledge. Okay, Aunt Debbie is here. All right, Aunt Debbie, can you hear me? On StreamYard. I'm going to mute the phone.
Can't hear you. I
Okay.
can hear you. No.
Okay. All right. Okay, Aunt Debbie. Keep the phone up to your ear and mute.
Okay.
All right. Go back to let me mute. Okay, Aunt Debbie, if you can hear me, unmute on your StreamYard. Aunt Debbie. Aunt Debbie, Aunt Debbie. Can you hear me, Aunt Debbie? Bummer. Okay, Aunt Debbie, we let me mute. Okay,
Hello?
Debbie, can you hear me? Can you hear me through StreamYard, Debbie? Okay.
Okay, Debbie.
All right, guys. Please be patient with us. Debbie is coming. Debbie is coming. And thank you, Teresa. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Oh my goodness. All right, 1 second, chat. I gotta go back on mute.
Okay.
You up there? Let me mute.
All right. I just unmuted on StreamYard.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Debbie? Oh no. Let me mute.
Debbie, I can hear you. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I can hear you. Mute your screen, y'all. That.
All right, chat. Debbie is rebooting again. She is well, I had her to completely shut down. It's loading back up now. She's gonna come back in. And we will get with you guys. They don't want us to be great tonight at all. But I do know that Debbie had the same issue the other day. If you guys were in our live, then you should remember we were able to work it out then. We're trying to do the same thing now. But happy Friday. Hit the like button if you did not hit the like button yet. Shout out to Kathy Johns and Gur Baby for the super chats to Debbie. She thanks you. She thanks you for the super chats. All right, chat. I'm going back on mute.
Okay, you.
Okay, Debbie, can you hear me? Can you hear me on the stream, Debbie? Damn.
Still can't hear you.
Debbie, you still can't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Mute your screen, y'all.
Okay.
All right. I'm unmuted on Debbie. Can you hear me? On Debbie? All right. Let me mute again, chat.
Okay, on Debbie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, mute your stream yard because it's an echo.
I'll order you some speakers. Um Chat, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please put a 1 in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we are definitely having technical difficulties. All right, so Teresa said you guys can hear me. Debbie, you want to come off mute and let your audience know where to join us?
Yes. Uh,
Because you still muted on StreamYard.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, everybody. I'm having technical difficulties with my computer. It seems like I'm having some speaker problems. So we're going to move to Pink Table's Topics channel, and I'll be there. And I'd like to thank everybody for the donations and super chats that you sent to me. And I apologize for my computer. But we're going to get this straight, and we're going to move to Pink Table Topics, and we're going to start the No Cap Show. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. Thank you. Be patient, and here we come. This computer is stupid. Hey there. Now, I went back to audio. My computer has got demons in it. And I put it on speaker real tech, what you told me to. And I pressed test. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm still on live. Okay. This is a hot mess. I'm dropping it. Okay, I just dropped it. This is crazy.
Aunt Debbie, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
I'm gonna hang up my phone. Hold on. You can hear me, Aunt Debbie?
I can hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
hello, Chit Chat with QT.
Yes. Oh, you sound real funny. Hold on, Aunt Debbie. Hold on. Stay like that on my end. Hold on. Say something, Aunt Debbie.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you sound funny on my end. Hold on. Does Aunt Debbie sound funny to you guys? Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay, Aunt Debbie?
Yes. I'm here.
Okay, we can hear you, but there's still something going on. God damn it. Test.
I tell you.
Wait, hold on. Right, Aunt Debbie sound like a robot. Aunt Debbie, click that settings real quick. Pink Diva, if you still listening, click that settings, Aunt Debbie. Click test again while we
It did play again. Yes.
All right, do me a favor. Go to your mic.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I want you to select, it's on default, right?
Okay, you say
Huh?
okay, hold on. It
It's
is on default. The microphone is on default.
okay. Go down to the regular microphone, Samsung Q2. Click that for me. Quick second. And say something
Oh,
now, Debbie.
okay, leave default. Go to communications microphone, Samson.
You can try that, yeah.
Let's try that. Can you hear me now?
Say something again.
Can you hear me now?
It's like sped up your. We can hear you, but it's still not right.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to settings, and I'm gonna push the next one that they have. Okay, phone. How about now? Can you hear me now?
It still sound the same. Do you have microphone Realtek audio?
Let's see. No, I have default communications microphone, Samson, and microphone Samson.
All right. Select default. That's what it should have been on. That's your original setting, I think. So select
Yes.
that again. Exit out. Yes, speeding. It's speeding. And we got Pink Table Topics scheduling a live, but Debbie called me right back and was like, now I can hear. So Debbie.
Let's just go to Pink Table Topics.
Okay.
Because if this
I just want to, but hold on. I just still want to check so we can make sure that you still good to go. And we'll just check real quick. Close out StreamYard. Close it out where you gonna exit out of StreamYard. Don't exit the live yet. You should disappear from the screen in StreamYard. We're sorry, chat. And Pink Table Topics. Hold on, sis.
add to the stage.
Now you're better. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh my God. Yes. All right, hold on. Let me call Pink Diva. Don't touch nothing on that.
I never touched nothing in the beginning.
Don't you touch a damn thing. Sis.
This computer got a mind of its own. Chad, I apologize for my computer. Believe me, I didn't do anything to it. I tell you, this must be gonna be a good live in order for all this to happen. Every week I have some problems.
All right, Aunt Debbie, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sound great.
All right. Yeah, we are here. We here. Cutie crew, don't y'all get mad, but due to our technical difficulties, my after hour live, I'm moving that to tomorrow, and it's fine, Aunt Debbie. Don't say no, don't say nothing. We're gonna take it to Saturday for tomorrow, after hour live, and so we'll do this. So no, because we just had about an hour almost of technical difficulties, and it's fine. We'll kick it tomorrow night. Let's see.
Why don't we just see how this goes?
And Aunt Debbie.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear. No, thank you.
We good. I wanna. We not rushing. We're not doing anything. But this is what I found out. Drop the link for Pink Table Topics. She on her way over here.
Okay.
Oh shoot. Let's see, which one am I in? I gotta close this one out. This is what I just found out, Aunt Debbie. I can present. Hold on. I just want to test something while we here. Because I didn't know this. Let's see. Share screen. Share. Oh. All right. Let me see something. Oh. All right. I'm going to have to do this another way. Okay. Is Pink Table Topics here?
I just dropped the link for her.
All right. Cool. Now, I'm going to see something. Let's see. Present, share. I had no idea we can do this. So remember how I was telling you, Aunt Debbie, that let's see if it come up on your screen.
I see something in the present. I see something here. It's the no cap plus why not?
So you see my YouTube that I'm sharing.
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, now we're not gonna try that tonight. All right, I was just trying to see something, but we not doing nothing that may mess up nothing. Hey, sis.
It's
Hey,
I'm sorry. Hey, Pink Table Topics.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, we back, child. I'm about to grab me a drink.
Hey, I'm sorry about all of this, but underneath there where it says present and invite, it's a box with a TV and a person plus a person.
Yep, nope, don't worry about that.
Okay.
No, don't, yeah, nope. We good. So we ready.
So y'all ready for this?
We ready.
Welcome to the No Cap Show. Okay.
We ready, Aunt Debbie.
All right. Tonight is men who say they high valued, but actually have no value at all.
Damn. No
Cap or no cap. Let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
We're
Can you
gonna
say
start.
that again? Can you say that again, Aunt Debbie?
Yes, ma'am. Men who say they high valued,
Mm-hmm.
but actually have no value at all.
I like that. All right.
Now, these men, I have a range of them, and I added another one to the list.
All right.
Okay, we got DDG, the rich content creator. We got Martell Holt, broke reality TV.
Well, child, not the broke reality. Stop.
Well, I can't say rich if he not rich.
Baby. I love it. It's the truth. It's the truth.
And then we got Ralph Drew Sadora's husband, broke reality TV. We got Shannon Sharp, who's rich. That might be questionable after his fiasco, but we know he's not sharp at all. Because not just one woman, it's another woman has entered the scene. And that's cap or no cap. So talking about these men, and I want to add one more to that list. And that's Deion Sanders.
Oh, Deion.
Yes, Mr. Sanders. I have been watching him. And to me, he did a good thing with his sons, teaching them football. Let me get it right, football. But he has also groomed them to be arrogant men, especially the oldest one. And you could see his ego is out of control. So that makes it hard for them to work with other people. Because they're so used to having things their way and their father saying it's this way and that way, and they don't want to listen to anyone else's way. So talking about these men, they say they high valued, but we as women, Do you actually see any value in them?
Mm. Mm.
And I just want to know if it's cap or no cap. Let's talk about the men individually. Go ahead, chit chat.
Mm.
Who you starting with me, Debbie?
Well,
Yes,
yeah, you
ma'am.
got it.
Okay, what was our choices again? DDG, Ralph,
Martell.
Shannon, the broke
Mhm.
reality star. We can put Ralph and Martell, huh? Well,
Yep,
heck,
I put both of them as broke reality stars.
Shannon Sharp and Deion Sanders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to know if they are high value men, which would mean no cap, or no value is cap, right?
Right.
All right. I'm gonna start off first, but I have to write them down. I'll start off first by saying all of them cap, all of them, each and every one. DDG, we already know about him. He's a clout chaser. I used to love this young man, but the way that he's done Hallie and how he used that situation, used her for clout. He used her again this week for clout. I'm over him. Definitely no value other than the money that he has in his pocket. I'm gonna start. Next up is Ralph. Ralph Cap all day long. Ralph says he's the breadwinner, he got the money and all of that. And if that's the case, to me, if you got it like that, if you are a high value man, there's no way in the world that you would do two things. Number one, stay in that basement because you have value. You can go ahead, you and your wife getting a divorce. You can let her keep that house while you guys go through this divorce and you can move. That would be what a high value man would do. Secondly, him wanting to expose his wife and unseal those court documents. So for him, cap, he's not high value. Do we even got to talk about Martell Child? Do we even gotta talk? Martell is cap, 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 cap. I could say it 30 times. Straight cap all across the board. Number one, we know what happened with him. Broke up his beautiful, beautiful family, lied and capped and said that he was the brains and the only person that fell for it was Coleslaw. And yeah, everything else has been capped with Martell. We haven't seen him be able to do anything when it comes to post divorce. Nothing substantial at all. So cap for him as well. Deion Sanders, cap. And I will say this. I don't know if I could say it about all of these gentlemen, but a couple of them, I will say that they did before these clout chasing moves, or in Shannon's case, getting in trouble for his passion for the clear women. Some of them have had positive attributes, you know what I mean? And I think that Shannon at one point was that, successful, came from nowhere, made a way, and all of that. But his image that he tried to portray is cap. Him trying to give advice to what's the guy named Donnell Rawlins. What you want with her? She 23 years younger than you. Donnell. You don't need no young woman like that. And here it is. He has lost every damn thing. Damn near. Even though his lawyers came out and said something different today, because of a young underage girl. So cap for him. And I think said I was gonna do Deion, but I'll end with Deion because I keep peeking over here at my TV screen. Here it is, day 2 of the draft, and his son has not been selected. And I believe that it's because of Deion. Is it right? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, his sons can't help the life and the lifestyle that they was born into. It's all they know. They've lived in mansions since they were born. They've rolled in the fancy of cars since they were born. Their daddy is also known as prime time. Prime time is lights, camera, action. But I do think, unfortunately, and I'm heartbroken over it, that his sons have suffered because of that. So When it comes to Deion, I say cap. Deion had a beautiful woman, beautiful wives, first of all of them. And the first one divorced him for a reason. The second one divorced him for a reason. And then Tracy Edmonds left him for a reason. But out of all of those three ladies, for me, Tracy Edmonds was the most successful, had it going on, her own money, her home, own mansions, her own brand, all of the above. And for them to break up after Dion gets this big position in Colorado, and it's also been rumored that he's dating Rossi Diaz. She's younger than him, but she grown. Rossi is probably, I don't know, probably 40 or something like that now. But cap for him as well. He get up and preach every day and these quotes and all of that. And yeah. So excellent choices on Debbie. All of them get cap. It's a shame I couldn't pick one, but each and every one for me.
It's a shame that all these men have ego problems. And with that being said, pink table topics. The same question to you, my dear.
I'm going to also call cap, and this is why. Like you say on Debbie, I believe is ego. They all have ego issues. As with, to me, seemingly most black men, for whatever reason, especially those that come into money, they don't know how to manage ego and still be successful at the same time. High value is far fetched for any of these men that were named. DDG, Ralph, Martell, Shannon Sharp, Deion Sanders. I don't view either of them as high value men. Deion, to me, I would put number one over all of the ones listed. But as far as considering him a high value man, I do not consider him as being high value because, like Sis was saying, I always have to go back to how they treat us as Black women. To me, that determines if whether or not you are a high value man or not. And not just Black women, but just women in general, because I don't care what color you are. But just as a woman, I've looked at, through the years, how these men have, just treated the women that were in their lives. And I don't feel that any man of value would devalue anyone that he says he loves and adore and all of that kind of stuff. So you can't say that you are high value, but the person at home is suffering in silence. So there's no way you can be that. And unfortunately, being that these men are in the media, we were able to witness, how they have treated some of the women that were in their lives, the ones that we know of. So I don't deem them as being of high value. The only thing they may have, high dollars in the bank, some of them, excluding Martell and Ralph and soon to be Shannon Sharp. But outside of that, I don't see them as being high value because a high value man would know how to treat his woman. Not only will he know how to treat his woman in public, also in private, just, being able to just love her for who she is and all this kind of stuff. That's what a high value man is. He is a leader, but he also does not have to demean the person that's on his shoulder just because he considers himself high value. I feel like they let their money and their finances go to their head. They let their fame go to their head. And at that point, they started to feel like they could just do whatever they wanted to do to these women. And unfortunately, society allowed this to happen. Society allowed them to be able to treat women like this. And I just don't feel that they are high value men because I know a lot of high value men, they may not have the amount of money that the Deions of the world have, but they are some amazing high value men because they know how to treat the people that they say that they love and just not putting on the show for the camera. So I feel like a lot of these men, what we've seen and witnessed from them, they put on for the camera and they are totally different behind the scenes. And, and we're seeing a lot of it because I feel like the covers are being pulled from over a lot of them and we're being able to witness firsthand that they are not who they say they are. So it's cap for me.
I agree. I feel like this. All of them are cap. They say they high valued because they want to look down on the black woman.
Mm.
If you notice, because they have some money in the bank outside of the two that's broke, the broke reality people, these men go and pick clear women so they can look like they have value, so they can look down on us because they say we gold diggers. We not enough. We got attitudes. We talk back. But with the other women, they bow down and give them this value to make them think they high valued, when really they are nothing at all to those women. But they want to make us pay for it and bow down to them because they say they high valued because they can get another woman of another race. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now they trying to lower our value to raise theirs.
Mm.
When they nothing at all. You can see how they look down and see how they treat people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they treat us real bad, but they clearly they open the door. How you doing, ma'am? But us, they shut the door in our face.
And you know what? And the thing about that too, Aunt Debbie, that disturbs me more is because it's us, it's we, the black women that are there from them, there with them before they even get the fame. Like we're the ones that are
Mm-hmm.
helping build them up. We're the ones that's pushing them. We're motivating them. We're pushing them to be great. You know, and we standing out here behind the scenes. We walking with these Negroes when they broke and ain't got nothing. So clearly, I love you because I see the potential in you. I see greatness in you. I'm helping speak greatness in you and speaking motivation in your life. But then the moment you hit big, then all of a sudden you want to discard us as if we wasn't there from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to label us as gold diggers, but we was here with you when you were broke.
Right. We was with you when you had coal, when you had dirt
Right.
in your pocket, with lint in your pocket. And um, is it self-hatred, ladies? Do you think that these men hate themselves? You know what I mean? Because how can you turn on and let me be clear about where I stand. I can care less. Take all of them. That's how I feel. So, I'm not walking around and I'm sure you ladies aren't either. Walking around rolling my eyes if I see a brother with somebody else or whatever, but it has to be some type of self-hatred because how can you feel or like you said on Debbie, devalue your own race of women and you came from one? Is it me? Thank you, Gia. It has to be. It has to be self-hatred. Or you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Help me out. Help me out,
I
guys.
think it is. I think it has a lot to do with self hatred. And I also think it's a lot to do with, as Black women, we challenge them and they don't like to be challenged. They want you to just
Uh-huh.
sit down, shut up, and do as I say and not as I do. And they don't want you. And what Black woman that you don't know, because you can't just tell me anything. I have questions. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to question your motives. I'm going to be in the business per se. Whereas, you get the Beckys and the other races that are out there that they tend to gravitate more toward is because they do sit down and shut up and don't ask any questions because they just happy to be on their arm. And I think that has a lot to do with it as well. I think, like you
Good
said,
point.
how is it that you can come from a Black woman but hate Black women so much? What is it within you that made you hate Black women so much so to the point to where you feel like, and a lot of them, just looking at a lot of them with the names that they have on here, you're not really even that attractive anyway. So a lot of times I feel like it goes back to that inner child. And even Deion got money, but Deion ain't attractive to me. Yes, he's pulled some beautiful women, but he's not attractive to the average woman. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
typically it's somebody that's either Tracy had her own. I can't say that about her. I'm not aware of what Pilar had when he got with her. But basically, these men hate something within themselves that causes them to gravitate to women in their eyes who they deem as lesser than. Or sometimes when it comes to the whole Martell and Ralph, when you're looking at their dynamic, they tended to gravitate to women who they knew could get out there and get their own and brought their own to the table, and they just rolled off their wave. However, they wanted to make sure in public you push me to the forefront to make me feel like I'm the man of the house and I'm doing this, that, or the
Yeah.
other. When 9 times out of 10, all they are is stay-at-home dads, both of them. That's all they're worth. So they didn't actually bring anything to the table. So high
Right.
value is far-fetched, being in the same sentence with these men at all.
Well, see, I don't look at these men as high valued. I
No.
look at them as insecure jerks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Self hatred. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't like black women, but you came from one. She the one fed you the greens and cornbread so you can have the strength to do those things that you're
Say
doing.
it.
She gave you life,
Mm-hmm.
and she spoke and took care of you when you were sick. So now you're saying what you don't like and we're not good enough. But when something happened, we're more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
Enough for you to come back to when you down and out. So then we nurse you, we nurture, we feed, we care, we share, protect, provide, profess. And as soon as you get on your feet, you over there in somebody else's barn because they got pink toes. Now you don't need me no more. Now I'm this, that, and the other, and I'm not good enough. So what are you, sir? What kind of good are you? If I invest in investment and it don't pay off, that's a waste of time. So now I see you as a waste of time because I invested my time in you. All because I care. But now I'm beneath you. I'm the gum under your shoe. So I say to these men, what kind of man are you and what's going on inside of you that you so afraid and fear to deal with inside of you and discover you that you got to put me down because you don't want to do the work on you?
Mm. Look, I agree with that, everything you said, but especially that last part, because really that's what it is. It is a lot of our men, black men, that's out here operating in a manner that they shouldn't be, just being in a relationship, period, because of what you just said. They're unhealed. They have issues that they refuse to address or sit down and go talk to somebody. And what they do is they will end a situation and jump right into the next one with the same baggage and continue on and continue on. It's discouraging, just as far as the overall thought of it, you know what I'm saying, but not personally for me. I get it if it's personal for other people, because I think some people do say, damn, what's wrong with us? But please know there's nothing wrong with you. Keep your standards high. If you encounter anybody that put out what these same guys put out, run for your life. And it definitely gets greater later. Aunt Debbie, you've always said that ego edges God out. And that's what I see when it comes to a lot of these guys you mentioned. Deion has been able to continue on and be extremely successful. But I see Deion being an extremely successful, lonely old man down the line. DDG young, so he'll probably whatever. But when you look at Martell, when you look at Ralph, when you look at Shannon Sharp, yeah, when your image, your character is called into question and proven to be gutter, where do you go from there? And it had nothing. The good thing about Shannon Sharp, nothing to do with a sister. You know what I'm saying? He brought this on himself. But Martell and even Drew, I saw a video that somebody posted today. Drew was in a Sean Paul video. I never knew that was her in there. She's a successful woman. We know. We got an echo somewhere, guys. Let's see. Test. We know Mel is extremely successful as well. Where does a Martell go? Who would want him? Ralph, his image isn't as bad as Martell. Who would want him? So I think that a lot of these men has really brought into the Kevin Samuels situation, and I think that they really believe that that is the case. But you know, like Aunt Debbie said, I don't see any value at all. At all. What happened to Aunt Debbie?
Looked like she dropped down. It was her. It was her that was echoing, so she must have
Okay,
dropped down.
drop down. Okay, sis. You
But I agree. I agree with everything you said. In that manner, where will they go? Like, who will want them after what we witnessed, especially with their behavior? Unfortunately, it'll be some that'll still go with them, but they're just looking for the money purposes only. But like you say, I feel like the likes of a Deion Sanders, he will, you can't take your money with you. You could be prime time and all of that now, but you don't really have anybody that you can share it with. I know you have your kids, but you don't really have, that ride or die that's on your side. And I remember talking to a guy friend before, and I was just asking, I'm just like you said, I don't care who you have on your arm. I'm not intimidated at the least by who you date and what color they are. You can date whoever. That does not make me feel any kind of way that they're dating different races. I don't care. If that's your thing, that's your thing. And I don't feel a way about it. I don't feel like it's degrading to me or it's disrespectful to me or anything. Date who you want to date. But I was asking, I said, what is it that make you all choose, another race over, your own race? And he said it was basically because we as Black women, we're not as, how did he put it? We're not as open to doing a lot of the things that they want us to do as far as the actual stuff, how they defile you and all of those kind of things and want to do the golden showers and all of that stuff. We're not as open to that. And the other races are. Just let them have their way. And that's one of the reasons why they're so attracted to a lot of them, because we question everything. Like, and if it's something that goes against my values and my belief, I ain't doing it. I don't care who you are.
Period.
And a lot of us don't. And he said that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, and go away from me with that. You know
Right.
what I mean? They've always wanted
in my ear. You ain't
right.
getting no golden showers like that.
None of the
No,
above.
you're not doing that.
Yeah, they've
That
always
is
wanted
degrading.
subservient type. A lot of them. I'm not gonna group them all because again, there are a lot of amazing Black men. Kudos to them, and just a big shout out for making us proud. But there are a lot that ain't got a damn thing to offer, and they want you to be subservient and submissive and all of that. They can disrespect you if we even tie this into a Martell and a Marceau. Marceau was extremely dismissive of Tisha on Love and Marriage Huntsville, wanted her to be submissive and all of that. And a lot of women fall for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, go away from me. Yes, Mary. No, you ain't peeing on me, brother.
Right, Mary.
You better not
No,
even
Mary.
be on the toilet seat. Make sure you got your aim. You ain't, but no, over this way, absolutely not. But other races, other women from other races, I've heard, like you said, sis, they down for whatever, especially if they got money. And Shannon Sharp is a prime example. Do I think, and I'm gonna call Aunt Debbie, I'm gonna go on mute in a minute, but do I
Okay.
think that Shannon Sharp was set up? I do. Do I care? Absolutely not. But he was definitely set up. She
I
agreed
agree.
to everything when they first said that's gonna be on our after hours. Now it's tomorrow. BDSM, that let me know everything I need to know. They was down for everything. And he came out today and tried to say the only reason why he offered her $10 million is because he didn't want her to share the details of his actual life. That's a damn lie.
Right.
He outside. I'm a mute. Sis, take over. I'm gonna call on
Okay.
Debbie because
Let
I
me
don't know what
read some
happened.
comments. What do y'all think, chat? Do y'all think that these men are high value men? The Deion, the Martell, Ralph, DDG, Shannon Sharp. Do you all think they're high value men, or what do you think? What do you think one of their reasonings being is why they hate? Teresa say Cap. Why do you feel like most black men tend to hate us as black women, especially being that they all came from a black woman? What do you all think in the chat? Right, Gigi says, child be one with your ish. Right. Brittany Janae says cap. Monique says cap. Hey Al, thanks for joining. April says nope, because we tend to hold them accountable. Absolutely. And I think that has a lot to do with it, April, because we tend to hold them accountable. I think deep down, a lot of these black men are really intimidated by us as black women. They really are intimidated at the fact that we don't need them. We're with them because we desire to be, with them, or, love the person that we're with, but there is no need for us. It's pretty much like an added necessity, an added addition to our lives, and not us necessarily needing and depending on them, because the majority of us know how to get up and go to work and make our own money. We bring in everything to the table already. So there's no need to chase. And I think that intimidates a lot of men, because for the most part, most of us, we have our own jobs, our own homes, our own cars. Pretty much all of them are coming into our lives with nothing. The majority of them, they got to drive our cars. They got to live in our homes. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of times they really are intimidated by us. Gigi says, stop trying to please the masses, and accountability. They hate it. They hate it is a deterrent to their own self-loathing. I totally agree. Jer Baby says, no, they're in
Debbie,
competition with each other. Mm-hmm.
let's check and see if
Debbie
Debbie
back.
can hear us. Debbie? Sis, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Do you see, is Debbie back up there?
I see her on the chat, yeah. I see her on the panel.
Can't hear, sound gone. She just put it in the chat. Okay, let me try to call her back.
Okay.
She didn't answer. Okay, I'm going on mute.
Okay. Patricia T says, I only have issues with black athletes who get with a Becky and make her life better when they could have made a black woman's life better. I totally agree. And for whatever reason, I don't understand why they feel like they have to choose another race when they come into money. Predominantly, a lot of them, very few athletes I know of, are actually married to black women. I mean, it's their choice. Love who you love, but don't degrade us just because you choose another race. Like, you can love who you love, but don't be disrespectful to black women, and don't put us all in the same group just because you had a bad experience with the black woman. Don't put all black women in the same boat. Teresa says, my nephew got one that ain't got nothing and don't look like nothing. He had the nerve to tell me that black women are disrespectful. I almost knocked his arse out. Girl, I know that's right. You know, and they say it's disrespectful. It's not disrespectful. It's just that I respect myself more. You know, I'm not going to allow you to talk to me any kind of way or try to treat me any kind of way to make you feel good about yourself. Let's see. Indigo Girl says a high value man is a man who respects their woman, treats her like a queen, provides for and protects his family. A high value man would never allow anyone to disrespect his woman. Absolutely. And he wouldn't disrespect his woman. Totally agree. Hey, Alf, thanks for joining, sis. Rose says to Teresa, your nephew got a clear woman. Yes, she said her nephew has a clear woman, Rose. Cece says, I think of the lost generational wealth to our community. Yeah, totally true. Gigi says, also, what about the ones who have a horrible relationship with their mother and not address it, just mask it with another? And that's what I think a lot of them do, Gigi. They go from just one place to the next being unhealed, carrying baggage from here, there, and everywhere because they refuse to seek help. They refuse to seek therapy, or they just even refuse to address what's really going on deep down inside. Because you know, my grandmother used to tell me a long time ago, pay attention to how a man treats his mother, because that will have his mother and his sisters, because that will tell you a lot about how he will treat you based off how he actually treats his mom and his sister. And you know, that's something that I've actually paid attention to. But there are some who still, you know, would treat their mom and sister like gems. And
That's what I was just about to say.
out, child. They'll still be out here dogging them out. I just really don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I agree, sis. I agree with you. Everything that you said. I can't get Aunt Debbie on the line, but she did put in the chat that she cannot hear. So I guess she can't hear us, but when she clicked the link, she didn't say anything. So I don't know why she's not answering. But I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying. Um, Dogger, she
Stay
had
safe,
another part to this.
child. Hey, April. Hey, London. Thanks for joining.
All right. Well, I have another quick question while we try to work this out with Aunt Debbie. And actually this was on the Shade Room and I saw it and I said it was interesting. Do you guys think that there is a double standard for men and women, excuse me, to dating younger? So sis, I'll start with you. Do you think that there's a double standard? Do you think
Absolutely.
that women
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you think that women have like a limit as far as how young they will go? Because we do have an example that we can use. Actually, a couple. Drea dated the had the baby by a young man that's the same age as her son. I think he's about 22 and she's about 39, hitting 40. It just came out today. Lil Kim is 50 something. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Aunt Debbie, you back?
I'm back.
Okay,
Okay. Hey,
good.
Aunt Debbie.
Good. And you're fine, Aunt Debbie. I was trying to call you, but I couldn't get you. But we was just now talking about double standards when it comes to women dating younger and men dating younger. So I mentioned Drea. Drea had the baby by the basketball player. He's 22, I think. Look, Kim, it came out today. Look, Kim is in her 50s and her 25-year-old recent ex-boyfriend is out blasting her. Big age difference. It was somebody else that popped in my mind. I can't think of it right now. But why is there a double standard, or should they get the same vitriol that we are having when it comes to men that dates decades? In Shannon's case, That girl was 35 years younger than him. Will you treat a woman different on Debbie, or does the same standards apply?
I think the same standards should apply, but that guy 25, he was chasing. Men are different from women. Women don't usually go for younger guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Some do, some are cougars, but not really, really young like that. So, I just think that these things don't work out in the end. Little Kim, 50, boy 25. You gotta look at these young men and what they with these women for. They looking for sugar mamas. Just
Like the
like
girls
these young ladies looking for sugar daddies. They want to be sugar babies.
But if he's chasing and she allows herself to get caught, you know what I'm saying, as twice his age, is he to blame or is she to blame?
They both. There's no blame. That's consensual. They doing what grown folks want to do, and only they can make the rules for them.
Okay.
You know, what can you say? People do things for all sorts of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know what their agenda is. Some for clout. Just like Martell. Perfect example. He had a good wife, good thing going. He know he couldn't do nothing without her, but he wanted to act like he was a man and he was the brain. And then when it came out, now he want to come back home. Ain't no home to come to. You knew you was lazy and she was the brain. She was taking care of you. That's the way these young men, some young men want to be sugar babies. They want a woman to take care of them. So yeah, they'll play around with you. Yeah, I love you, woo, woo, woo. Till you ain't got no more money, then you don't see their tails no more. Oh, men with money. You see what happened to Mr. Sharp, who wasn't so sharp after all. He played around. Now she finna get the money. He ain't got none. Deals off the table, job gone, money done flew out your pocket. When things are not evenly yoked, there's no balance. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense to me. And back to your question, sis, when you were saying, is there a double standard? I absolutely think there's a double standard, because if we go back to the whole Drea situation, and I don't agree with it, but people drug this girl. Like they really drug her because of that big age difference, because I think her son was close to the guy's age. But then we have situations like this with Shannon and this young girl who's 19, and he didn't get a lot of heat like that as far as the girl and her age, because everybody kept saying, well, she's legal. Okay, well, the dude that Drea got the kid by, he's legal too, but people, it's a double standard when it comes to a woman dating a younger man versus a man dating a younger woman. It tends to be this stigma that is to be expected when it comes to men, and that tends to be the double standardness of it when it comes to men versus women. A lot of the things that men are able to get away with is because the mentality of society is, well, it's to be expected. Well, he's a man and this, that, and the third. But women are always criticized for the things that they do. And, I would never do it, because to me, I don't see an attraction like that to a young man, because at this point I got to teach you everything, and I don't need to be trying to teach you the game and how to do this and all of that kind of stuff. That's not my thing. But there are women who love younger boys, and there are men who love younger girls. Is it right in my eyes? No. Are they legal? Yes, they are. But they're, what are you looking for in this person that's many, many years younger than you? You have either kids the same age or, a little older. So it is a double standard because you don't hear all of them, you don't hear them dragging Shannon for being with the 19-year-old. You just hear them dragging him for what was going on between him and her that was released, but not because she was 19 and young. So that to me is
Uh-huh.
a big double standard when it comes to men versus women.
Yeah,
I
good
agree.
points. Good points. For me, Dre is on the same you know, ju- I can't even say we listen and we don't judge because I'm gonna judge her. Drea peep game. And I think it's very inappropriate. So I'm gonna hold her to the same judgment that I hold a lot of these other guys that go extremely young. You know what I mean? Like the Shannon. Um, although she was a minor when they got together, still young. And this boy is too young. He's still wet behind the ears. He hasn't lived life. He hasn't experienced anything. She swooped in as an older woman, especially one that's in the spotlight per se, you know, Instagram famous and all of that. And she trapped him. She trapped him. So yeah, she gonna get that same smoke from me. I don't care if he is grown. 22, that's not grown enough for her, where she, you know, your son is 21, you end up pregnant by this guy who's 22. Let that boy, well, it's too late now, but go out there and be with younger women his age so they could experience a lot of the first things in life together. Drea been there, done that, been passed from here, there, everywhere. She's the one that said my wholeness has been deleted. So she admitted that she was a 304. And yeah, she trapped him, you know. And I say that that's a form of control, just like a lot of these men get with the younger women to control them as well. Two peas in a pod for me.
I
It's
I
agree.
disgusting.
totally agree. And I'm like, where's his mama? Because, if that's my son, boy, what are you doing? And I would have been all over Drea's tail. Like, what are you doing?
And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
women, it's all right to date somebody maybe 5 to 10 years younger than you. But for an old woman to go after a 25-year-old, that's something you don't let nobody know. You hit it and quit it. You know what I mean? But to come out and say you trying to, that's your man and you his woman, it looks ridiculous. It just does because what does he bring to the table that's gonna keep you involved and keep your brain stimulated with this person? 25-year-olds like to play them video games, sat around all day. What they gonna do for you at 50 when you got a light bill? You can't look for him to pay it. He looking for you to buy him some gym shoes. So I don't see no value there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't
no.
see nothing there. I don't see nothing there. You know,
It's a desperation a lot of times for some of these older women. I don't think Drea was desperate because Drea has two sons already. One of them, the youngest, before this baby with this guy, was born to a Orlando Scandic, who's a former NFL player. But the little Kims, the Keisha Coles, and all of that, and just the average woman. I did see a couple people in the chat that said that somebody said that I think their family member married somebody. The family member was 42 and the man was 25 and they've been married 20 years. That's amazing. Um, like Debbie just said, 25 is a little different to me, but it's still a little young. It is what it is. Somebody mentioned Patty LaBelle. Patty 80, her man is 45. Do your thing, Patty. The man is grown, but when you get to situations like the Drea, where they're again fresh out of high school, damn near, or especially Shannon Sharp, dumbass, no, it's disgusting. There's nothing cute about that.
I think sometime, well, with Drea, I think she was looking at that young man pocketbook, that wallet, money in the bank,
He had
put
over
that
a
way.
hundred. He got over $100 million. Well, maybe 300. I think that boy was just offered close to $300 million.
Well,
Definitely a money grab.
I think that's what she looking at. But some people, you know, it ain't because they ain't got that much money like what you saying he got. Some of them just out to steal your youth. Like the little Kims of the world going somebody 25. All you stealing is his youth. Cause you done lived that. You done been 25. You will never be 25 again. So you try to get a man so you can go back and live and do that again. It's not gonna work. It don't work. You know, and all he looking for is what you got, what he can get out of you. Ain't no love there,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So to me, she know what she getting into. Cause she didn't have to pick that 25-year-old boy. She left him alone. And like I said, you gonna do something here and quit it. But you just come out and say he your man? No, no, you got the game backwards. Got the game all messed up. That ain't how it go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all right to want companionship, but look, you gotta be using to discernment about how you get it and who you pick. What that lady said in that song, she found love in a hopeless place.
Hmm.
Ain't never
Is
gonna be
that
no love there. Ain't be no love there. Look, just like the boy that had the baby by Keisha Cole. Why did you turn around and went to some young girl had on a short skirt? Couldn't even tell him nothing.
Bakisha Cole? Which baby daddy?
Remember the baby she just had? One that young boy say was a rapper or something?
Oh, the little short guy, Nico.
Yeah, he
Oh, I
said
thought
he
you said
was
she
a
got
rapper.
another. Oh, okay.
I,
Oh, I
I
don't
know
know.
she.
Aunt Debbie be knowing more than me, child. I don't know.
She said-
Aunt Debbie up on everything. You hear me?
That girl done had the baby by the man. This last baby she done had. That boy was a young man. He was supposed to be a rapper. You know, everybody said they a rapper now. I ain't never seen nothing he rapped. I don't know name record or nothing he made. I don't know if he made one or not. But she had a baby by him. Here he go. He went and saw him a young girl, and there he was. She was round crying, singing them sad love songs. All that other stuff. To my dad, I never do it again.
Oh no,
Songs
Aunt
in
Debbie. Oh no, no, no. I think you got it wrong. That's not her baby daddy. You talking about something recent where Keisha Cole was singing and putting it all in it. Is that what you're talking about? Because she started dating a young rapper named Huncho.
then
But
she
that's
have a baby by him.
no. Mm-mm. No, because her son by her second, she only got one son.
No, she got two babies now.
Keisha
Yeah, she got
Cole.
the oldest son, the one by the
Basketball
basketball
player.
player dude, and then the youngest
Right,
one
by
is by the
Booby.
Nico.
Right. And the one by Nico is about 6, 7 years old. That's not Huncho, baby. But if Aunt Debbie is talking about Keisha Cole when she came out a couple weeks ago, where she had on, they said it looked like a diaper. She had on them little shorts, but they were ill fitted. That's
Oh,
about
that was a
Huncho
hot
the
mess.
rapper.
That's a hot mess.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
hot
Huncho.
mess.
I agree.
Was that last baby daddy? Wasn't he younger than her?
I think Nico. I don't know. I could look it up. Do you know,
I
sis?
think Nico is younger than Keisha.
She all I know that she had a baby by a young
She
man.
got the baby by Gibson, and
Right,
then
Mhm.
Booby
the Nico.
Gibson.
Right,
Yeah,
that's the first
Nico I think is a little
young son
younger.
she got. Then
Right.
she had another baby by the young man, and he ain't stayed with her long enough to baby. Girl, please. See, he ain't stayed together long together. So he saw a short skirt. There he was. And that's what these mans do, cause they figure if they can get you and play you like that, they don't care nothing about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because a woman that's carrying herself with class and everything, she ain't looking at no 25-year-old because she know he can't do nothing for her. He can't teach her nothing. He can't take her nowhere. He can't buy her no dinners, nothing she's accustomed to. So that's a waste of time.
A lot of those women got low self-esteem too. Keisha Cole got a lot of internal stuff that she needs to deal with. Lil Kim got a lot of insecurities about herself.
Yeah, that's true. And they ain't had the good, they ain't had the best of relationships.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, Pink Table Topics. I agree. But it comes a time when a woman has to know her self-worth. She
That's
got to
true.
love herself. And when you love yourself, you don't put you in harm's way or in danger. You all you got, and you're going to protect you.
Mhm.
And you're not finna let no 25-year-old come up on you and run game.
Mm. Good point. Good
I
point.
agree on Debbie.
And
What I'm gonna do with a 25-year-old? What we gonna do? Nothing. Calm down. And some young boys be managed. They managed. You have to calm down, send them on their way. Cause some of them managed to get out that place. You have to put them back in it. Walk away from that.
it's true.
You know, it's like I said, it's good to have companionship, but you want the right kind. You want the right kind.
Not somebody I gotta train.
Train, and then you got to worry about him opening his mouth, telling folks your business. He's still wet behind the ears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Oh no. I like being by myself. No. Mm-mm. What they gonna talk
You,
about?
you sure, Aunt Debbie? You sure you don't want you no little young thing?
Oh no. I ain't be bothered, girl. No. I'm good. I'm good over here.
Okay, go away from me.
And I don't want no robot man either. Before
Ooh,
you ask.
not the robot.
Nope. No, thank you. He's sitting there with his eyes closed. I don't know if he dead or alive. I don't want nothing. I'm good. And I don't want no high value man either. I don't want him.
And
I
isn't
don't
that a
see no
shame?
value in this tail. I don't see no value in him. I just don't.
Right, but isn't that a shame to that a lot of us have to say that based off of what they've turned that into? Because in
Mhm,
reality, who wouldn't want a high value man?
mhm.
Not their definition, but just what that says. High value. Who wouldn't want that? But again, Kevin Samuel put a whole spin on that high value man, and these men brought into that. And now it's a shame that we have to say, I don't want no high value man. It's crazy.
And I don't want no red pill man. Whatever that is, I don't want
Ooh,
none of that
child.
either.
Red
Yeah,
pill.
Aunt Debbie, you was talking, you told me that you mentioned that on the phone. And remember, I said, don't tell me everything. I want to find out on the show. What is that?
What's
Because
a red pill?
I have no idea, sis. So we're gonna learn something new together. What is that, Aunt Debbie?
Now, that's the men. I
Is it
guess
like
you
the
have
blue
to.
pill? Is it
I
like the
heard
blue
the
pill,
blue
the
pill.
Viagra? Is it like that?
It's men. It's men like the men we're talking about.
Red pill. So it's not an actual pill. It's a
No, no. It's a.
oh.
I think it's more of a philosophy of how they think about women.
Oh, let me look it
Oh,
up real quick.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I might be wrong now. See, I don't know everything.
I ain't never
oh,
I
red.
mean,
I
I've
was like
heard
a
of it.
red pill.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so I did just look it up. And here it says used to refer to a process by which a person's perspective is dramatically transformed, introducing them to a new and typically disturbing understanding of the true nature of a particular situation. That didn't help me too much. I had no idea what. Okay, that don't help. Red pill. Any
I look
chat,
at it as
somebody
a
in the
man.
chat. Put it in
I
the
look
chat.
at it as a man wanting to, to groom you to be the way he wants you to be, for you to adapt his thoughts and his way of life, and he sets the ground rules, and you follow and ask no questions.
Okay.
That's what I see it as. I ain't
But
that kind of woman.
did
I ain't
you
gonna act
hear
right.
I don't know. I'm just lost. Did it come from somewhere, Debbie?
The men's made that up. The men in the manosphere with all these high value crap, all that go together.
Oh, and the man sound subscribe to none of that. That's why
Everybody
I'm
say,
so
what's the red pill? I don't
right.
know.
Debbie everybody saying, what is a red pill? I don't know, y'all. Aunt Debbie just told us, but it's from the manosphere. And I don't watch that mess because I know what it gives. So, like, wasn't Kevin Samuels and all of them a part of that?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
the way they think about women.
And they called it the red pill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's the way they call it, because that's what they made up. See, all this made up by them, these high valued men, so to speak.
Well,
but they call themselves high value because they want to be like God, and us women supposed to just bow down and fall to their knees and do what they say. And that's what that's about. Same way that man Derrick Jackson did his wife. All that stuff go together. So it's real crazy. It's real crazy to me because I could never be. I ain't that type of person. They wouldn't like me, and I damn sure don't like them. So
Okay, I just found it. I just found something that explains it a little more. You want me to read it?
Oh yes, ma'am.
All right, let's see. Oh, I don't like this at all. All right, it's pretty long, but I want to read I'm gonna read what it says at the top, and then I'm gonna read the detailed breakdown, because that's where it get into it. And under you right, the manosphere is under that too. But it said red pill men, which is what I searched for, refers to men who adhere to the ideology of the manosphere, which is a subculture that often promotes misogyny, anti-feminism, and a view of men as victims of feminism. Taking the red pill is a metaphor for accepting this perspective, while remaining in a state of ignorance or denial is likened to taking the blue pill. So they got manosphere. They got red pill. This refers to the belief that society is rigged against men and that traditional gender roles are imposed on them for the benefit of women. Anti-feminism, misogyny, MGTOW. That means, I don't know what this dog doing. He's scratching his own damn back. MGTOW, men going their own way. This is a sub-movement within the manosphere that emphasizes self-reliance and rejecting traditional relationships. What else? They got alpha, they got criticism. So that's what it is. Hell no, go away from me with this. I don't want no pills. Take your little red pill. Take that blue pill on, that Viagra. If you need that, take that blue pill away from me, and definitely take this red pill away from me. Hell no.
See what I'm talking about now.
No, ma'am. I'll pass.
That's what I'm talking about. That's something that
Kevin Samuels kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's some of that Kevin Samuels kind of stuff. That's what he was telling them is, that's where they come from, all that crazy stuff, and being high valued and all of this. That means you want to be over everything and you got your own way, and people got to adapt and do what you say.
Yeah, no.
I ain't be able to do none of that. I'm telling you, I ain't be able to act right. I ain't gonna act right. So
I'm telling you, it's all kind of stuff. These men make this stuff up to get women to fall in line to hear what they want them to do and how they want them to live. To me, it's mind control.
Yeah.
I know that's right. Mary says she'll stick to her roles. I know that's right, Mary.
Not the rose. Not the rosemary. I feel you. You got no headache, no heartache, or none of that with the rose at all.
But that's where all this stuff come from. You
That's
know,
right.
and these older men are telling these younger men this stuff and telling them this is how it's supposed to be, and they bringing this stuff on down. Just as stupid. That's why these men get all this crazy stuff. Look at DDG. I know you got nothing. Everybody know you got money. Halo that make movies. You over in Japan to pick some girl to match you over there buying her $10,000 worth of crap to make this lady mad. And she don't give a damn.
Did he say that on Debbie?
Yeah, he bought that with that girl. They was in Japan now. He bought her purses and her friend bought them over $10,000 worth of stuff. Everywhere he go. See, that's why I say what I want to call him, he a hook. Everywhere he go, he spend his money with women. And he trying to buy them. He buy them this, buy them that. Then you don't see the woman no more. What kind of crap is that? That's hook. That's because you're slow. You think they're using these women using you. They getting them old nice pocketbooks they like that they can't afford, but they get you to buy them. Yeah. And he think he doing something. Because they'll go along to get along as long as he's spending money. Yes, everything, yes.
I ain't see that on Debbie.
You ain't seen that?
No, I haven't been looking, to be honest. I'll find it though, you know.
He was over in Japan now. I'm telling you, I went to Japan fooling with these folks and went over there and bought all that stuff for that girl. What kind of crap is that? Tell my son I told you, you look like a damn fool. What is you doing?
He a young simp.
Yeah, a hook. And them girls over there, yeah. You right. They said go along with anything to say. He came and buy them some pussies and all that kind of stuff they want.
Ooh, child. On Debbie said, ooh, child. Sis, did you hear that the way I heard it?
I heard it.
Baby. On Debbie, you said purses, but I thought you said with the P.
Right.
Ooh, child. I had to look up real quick, like, whoa.
Well, that's really what it seemed like he's doing, you know.
No. I'm just saying the way you said pussies.
I
thought you said he was over there buying.
You thought you said something else out there
with the P, you know, buying the not the pussies, but the other.
He's over there buying them folk purses. I'm telling you, all kind of crap.
Okay, now, it sounded like puss. That's all.
I know. I sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
So what y'all think? He just buying them purses. He ain't looking at them women for nothing else. He just dumb. What's going on here? What we doing here? But he high valued. If he's so high value, why he can't just talk and get a woman? Why he got to use game or get somebody to just yes man him so they could get what they want out of him?
Yeah. That's a good one.
And that's why I said, but these men say they're high value. I just don't see no damn value in them.
Man, screw them men.
Why would I say F them?
Okay.
I know that's right.
For real.
And the horse they rode in, you know.
Hey, you know, I just look at it. I'm like, damn, I ain't think they all that somebody go along with this crazy stuff. You know, what can I say about him? Look at Martell. He ain't even got no money. He tried to look how he got that girl over there crazy. She go along with anything he said. He said jump. She said hi.
Ain't got a lick of money.
Nothing.
Broke. How you broken trying to call shots? If you don't get your ass
That's what I'm saying.
on the way from here.
We ain't seen that girl cook a dinner since she made them old turkey chops and they look like paper. They were so thin. They don't have no holiday meal or nothing. No spread. They don't have holiday spread. Where his spread at? Kids go there, they ain't got no spread, no Easter egg hunt, no bouncy house, no good dinners or nothing. Where her children good meal come from? She got 2 children. You mean tell me she ain't cooking no turkey and dressing ham for them? They don't like that kind of stuff or something? But you followed up behind this man to do everything he tell you to do, but you can't think to do something to better your life and do something for your children. Something wrong with that picture. Who gonna follow a bone? And I mean, everything he tells, she just hanging on. I know her kids like some Easter Bunny candy.
Not the Easter bunny.
Yeah, Easter, you know the little basket that make Easter basket. And you put some candy and treats and that thing in there, some bunny ears and all kind of stuff. Put a little egg and put money in the legs. Every kid like that. But she got to be doing that for her kids. We don't never see her do nothing for them kids. Get on Instagram. Well, forget that.
Right. Gigi said ain't got 2 nickels to rub together.
Man.
The man can't even bring a ham in the damn house. How high value is that?
Sorry to that woman. I don't give a damn. You know, it ain't nothing against the kids, but I don't give a damn if they don't get a jelly bean, an egg, or nothing. They mama chose. Look, they mama chose that life for them, and you know it is sad for them. And hopefully they'll grow up to be adults that make better decisions. But you know, when it comes to her ability of being able to do for, provide for, or just show them things in life. Yeah, you know, she picked this. She was on the path of being able to be a semi-okay woman until she thought she was going to transform into Melody Holt. You know, the girl was in college and nursing school. She could be a nurse and well established by now. So she picked that shit. I don't give a damn. Sorry, Miles. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that's what the red pill will get you as a woman when you follow a fool. That's all. She followed the fool. Look what she got. Now she looking foolish. That's all I'm saying. High valued man. That's what he said he was. I just said he said it.
He said it.
I don't see shit about him high value. There's no kind of value there. Yeah, you can't even go get a ham and bring it in the house. Chicken either. But what I need with you? You're supposed to be so smart and do all this and know all that, but you can't bring a chicken and a ham in the house like me. You ain't got no hustle about you, sir. So I don't see no value. Because the man can't feed his family, can't take care of his family. I don't see no value in him. You sitting around talking all this high value talk, and my stomach is empty. I can't get with that. I don't get that. I don't get it. The boy hungry. He wants some candy. What kid don't want some sweets? And you know these holiday kids be wanting to eat. Hell, they don't understand. And you gonna sit around talking about you have value, but you won't go and get a dinner and feed your children. You won't take a job to feed your child,
Hmm.
but you got all this value in you. So what is that value used for?
Hmm.
I just have questions.
I agree, Glam Rocks. That's what, they are insecure. And as I said earlier, I think it's self hatred when it comes to a lot of these men, But if they know that they can get somebody where they can knock their head or control them or sell them a dream and all of that, then that's the route that they going to take. It's crazy.
Well, they gonna always be hungry.
They gonna be hungry, then.
Baby, this may be off topic, but what are your thoughts? Second day of the draft, and Shador Sanders still has not been selected. I'm heartbroken for the young man. Have you been following that?
Yeah, I looked up and caught some of those streams him and his brother be doing. Shiloh. I think I like him best. Nothing against the other brother, but I like Shiloh. He would be my preference. I think they father and his mentality that he put off on them kids.
But is it fair? Is it fair? When they overlook his talent for all of that. Do I think
No, it ain't fair. It ain't fair. It ain't fair.
Right,
But
because even
life,
the Orange Man came out, the president, and said, "Are you all dumb?" or something like that. He said, "What is wrong with the NFL?" And he talked about how, and I can't stand his ass, how great Deion was and how great of a job that he's done for his sons and all of that. He felt like he should have been picked in the first round. Now it is really too much. You know what I mean? It is outright, and I don't know if the chat agree, racism to me.
I totally agree.
like this. I just figure like this. The father, life ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? And the way his father and how they feel about him. Like I said, he be the type daddy, they on the team, he over there telling them what to do. Trying to outcoach the coach. Well, I said, people don't want to be bothered with that. This is a job.
But
He got to let them boys go to work and get on that field and do what the coach say do. If coach say pull a duck, cause I tell you it can move a truck, that's what they supposed to do if that's what they paid to do.
But they've not been boys that were not doing that. And if
right,
the reason why I'm thinking it's more so a race thing, because if you remember back in the day, Archie Manning did it for his sons. He was even telling the NFL owners
absolutely.
what his son, they wouldn't be drafted with and what they weren't gonna do and stuff like that. So what's the difference with Deion and his boys? So that's why I'm looking at it more as it being a race thing, because how does it go from just a few days ago? Shador was a top pick. He was a top 10 pick. So how does he go from being a top 10 pick to not being drafted at all?
It could be racist. I don't know that much about football, but I do see the father. He how could I say this?
I get what you're saying.
He need to get out of the way and let the boys be mean.
Though, because the boys are talented. Like, you cannot take their gifts away. Regardless of how you feel about their dad or whatever the case may be, they are talented and they are very deserving to have been drafted. That's why you cannot tell me that, they picked a lot of these others over the Sanders boys, especially Shador, because he is talented. Like, he is amazing in his craft.
And this is my thing. Get them boys a chance. They should have been selected, both of them. Yes, Gia. Um, uh, 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 Draft them and set your rules. Now you are on this team, and unfortunately, son, your daddy got to stay in Colorado. And if you got to tell Deion that, absolutely not. You will have no say, no nothing. But we're not going to overlook his talent. You know what I'm saying? Overlook his talent. He was a potential Heisman Award winner. And they just showed the first quarterback that was selected today in the second round. They showed his tape, and he's a clear boy, about 6'5", quarterback, all of that. Trash. So you can't tell me that this isn't a personal vendetta.
I can see it being a personal vendetta, and I can even see racism. Cause, like I say, he talented, but you know, a lot of talented singers got picked over by somebody else. But my thing is this: Deion should fall back so these boys can get the chance that they need. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your daddy can be overpowering, and he'll make you miss a blessing and mess something up for you. His father, you know, people probably don't like him. He probably arrogant, and he probably this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. But get out the way so your children will have a chance. And go sit down with your pride and your ego and let these boys become men, because you messing up things for them, opportunities. That's all I'm saying.
And a lot of them are just intimidated. That's got a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
A lot of the coaches are probably intimidated and feel like if they choose Shador, then Deion may come and possibly take their job. You know, it's just a lot of intimidation factor, and we have to go through this. It's unfortunate that we as Black people always have to dumb down who we are to fit into the narrative of these white people and what these white people think, how they think we should behave. You know, there's nothing wrong with being confident in your craft and being confident in who you are and knowing that you can get the job done, because when he get on the field, he delivers. That's the difference in having confidence and just being an arrogant jock, because I don't think he's an arrogant jock. I think he's a very respectful and great individual in his craft, and he deserves to have been picked in the draft. So I feel like, you know, this has a lot to do with, again, to me, in my opinion, it goes back to it being a race thing, because they don't like us when we're too confident. They want us to just come in, play the game, and shut up. Don't talk about how great you are, because how dare you intimidate little Billy over here, because Billy ain't as great as you. So I don't want you walking out here with your chest stuck out saying you this, and that. That's exactly what it is. They can say what they want to say, but it just goes back to how massa want us to behave. You know, this is a white man's game. You come over here and act like you got some sense. You sit down, shut up, and do what I tell you to do. And they're just upset and they're intimidated. That's all it is.
I agree. You know, we talked last night about ego and arrogance, and they have all of that. You know, confidence, absolutely. That shows through his work. And that's what got me. You know, as I stated earlier, they can't help the life that they were born into. So that's all they know. You know what I mean? They daddy. We watched last night Deion video, and he dancing, got the chains on or this and that. So like Patricia said, it was definitely and it's, you know, he still got a chance, but come on now, day two, he still hasn't been selected. It was definitely to humble Deion. You know, the setup and the spread that they had last night at Deion's estate was amazing. But even that, for me, is where I wish Deion would have fallen back. And I told you guys that last night. No, we're not going to do this at the house. I want you to be there and experience all of that. Now I'm glad that he not, because it's heartbreaking. But his speech last night touched me, Shador's, because he still was respectful and, you know, said, yeah, I didn't expect this, but in the end, I'm going to be happy. But you have to admit that this is heartbreaking. And yeah, judge me on my talent. I don't give a damn if I'm already driving, which is another thing that they mad at. He already got the Rolls Royces, the Maybachs, the Lambos, the everything. The chain, custom chain that he had made and wore for the first time yesterday was $300,000. They don't want to see that. And it's a shame. I can't help it if I got it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just hate that they are suffering these consequences. Even when it comes to Deion, he's done a great job when it comes to fathering them, coaching other students, and just being what he should be for a lot of these boys coming up, you know, especially without dads. I love the work that he's doing, but it's a lot of other things that has overshadowed, in my opinion, his son. And you know, it's racism. Call it what you want to call it. It is straight racism. I'm going to mute, guys.
That's exactly what it is, because they're so accustomed to getting these young boys fresh out of high school, some fresh out of college. Some of them aren't as educated. They don't have father figures in their lives that were able to groom them into being, great football players, but also force them to go get your education and making sure that you're not just focusing on the ball. You're also focusing on your education, because what happens if you happen to get on the field and you get hurt? You still have your education that you can fall back on. Those are not the type of boys, young black men, that they are used to seeing coming into the NFL. They're used to these. Some of them are illiterate. I'm just calling it what it is. Half of them didn't finish high school or didn't study when they were in high school. Half of them didn't graduate college. So they get into these NFL and NBA situations. They don't know how to manage money. They don't know how to control themselves. They're good at what they do, but they didn't have anybody in their lives. A lot of them, unfortunately, came from broken homes, came from single parent households, came from being raised by their moms. But to see some young black boys that actually had a father figure that not only was pushing his boys to greatness, he was pushing other boys to be greatness. So it wasn't that he was selfish with his two. He has, been so instrumental in so many other young boys' lives. And so even Travis, he's been so instrumental in a lot of these kids' lives. And he's pushed not only them. I would see if he was the type of person to where it was just about him and his boys. But he's so far removed from that. It wasn't just about him and his boys. And it's just an unfortunate situation to where people are holding that against him. They're holding, the likes of their, the Shador's dad over their head because of
and
whatever.
Deion shouldn't even be a part of the conversation.
He shouldn't have even been, because the boy is talented. There's no way I'm going to overlook a talent because of who your daddy or who your mama is. Because if you have a gift and you have a gift to make my team great, then I should be judging you, like you said, she's judging you by your talent. If I draft you and then you get on the team and then you don't do what you're supposed to do, then I hold you accountable. I still can't hold your dad accountable for you getting on the team and failing. It's still you as an individual. And I just feel like it's unfair to Shador, especially because he just wants the opportunity to shine in his own right. He don't want to be in his daddy's shadow. He is actually out there playing. I would understand if he came from this rich lifestyle and a lot of everything that he's accomplished had been given to him, like some of these rich white people who pay under the table to get their kids into Harvard and all of this kind of stuff without taking the necessary assessments that we as Black folks have to take. He actually followed the steps. He went to school, he graduated, been playing in football since Little League. So he's been trained into this sport, and it wasn't something that he was just handed to just because my daddy got money. So that's why I feel like it's unfortunate.
I seen him throw the ball. He looked like he pretty good. I wish both boys the best.
That boy bad.
Like I said, I ain't really into football like that, but I could see no one man wins on a team wins a game. I just feel like what God got for him, it'll come.
That's right.
And that's the way I see that. I don't, I know it's racism everywhere in a game or whatever, but what God got for you, can't no man stop it. Yeah. Maybe God got a reason for making him not be picked or not picked at this time. Don't mean he won't be picked. That just mean that he haven't been
Well,
picked
hell,
as of yet.
I'm starting to question that. You know what I mean? I hope they do pick him. What is it? Is it a day 3 as well when it comes to this draft? I just think that because again, a lot of people are stunned. You know what I mean? People that it's a lot of them that's gloating because again they don't like him. They don't like his daddy and all of that. But the majority of the people are stunned, and that is solely because of his talents. Now, if he was a bad player, I wouldn't have been out here rooting for him to get drafted and all of that. That's not the case. The boy is bad. Do you hear me? And Shiloh, the other son, is good as well. He's had some injuries and things like that. I still think that he'll make an impact in the NFL. But they said that this change happened within the last week when it comes to these owners and these teams feeling some type of way as far as Shador. So it's like that's why everybody is so shocked. There's no excuse, none, that he was not selected in the top 10. Less known, they on number 88, 89 now. You know damn well all them other boys that's been selected is not better. So what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
What is the point? It's hurtful, and it's just again, I always stress this because I'm telling you, if I had the money, like a lot of these entertainers and athletes and all of that you've been blessed to get, there's no NFL without black people. There's no NBA without black people. So if that means you got to come together, get your own damn league, or stand as one and say, no, this not right. We gonna strike. Everybody just happy to get their money and go on about their business. And this is horrible. So I know, Teresa, you mentioned Tom Brady. Tom Brady was picked at number 199. We know what he's gone on to do. Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl. He wasn't picked until the second round and all of that. I get all of that. But when you are watching this in real time, this is very, very hurtful. And it just shows how, they still in control, no matter what, no matter how hard you work. I don't give a damn. I worked hard. These people offered me these other contracts that Shador has, and I'm a millionaire, multi-millionaire already. That's not my fault. Why hold this against him?
Well,
So
they say it's 4 rounds, so maybe get picked in what round they in now, the third, or
yeah,
they saying in the chat it's 4 rounds.
it's
Oh,
4
it's the
rounds.
second.
That's crazy. I just saw a post. They said if he would have been picked in the first round, he stood to make like 45 million. This second round, if they still choose him today, I don't know how many more people they got left. That dropped down to 10 million. So fourth round, what you gonna give him, $100,000? You know what I mean? And whenever he's selected, I'm just praying that he is, because they could be so ignorant and devious and all of that they can not select him at all. You know what I'm saying? But I hope that whenever he's picked, get out there and ball. Show them. You know what I'm saying? Which they know. It's just hurtful. It's hurtful. I'm disgusted.
Well, I like to see all the young men that was in the draft, go where they, what God wanted them to go. And like I say, what's for him, man can't stop it. They can hold him down. Him or his brother. Regardless if they like his father or not.
Yeah.
So, what can we say? It's a lot of time we think we was up for John. We should have gotten and saw somebody
It's
else.
mine, Rose. Is my dog really loud?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Okay, because Rose, like, whose fur baby is barking? It's man child. They outside. Let me close the door. Are you guys?
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, but we know delayed does not mean denied.
Right. Just got to keep the faith. He going where God want him to be.
I totally agree. But again, you know how they do us. It's unfortunate that we're always overlooked. Our talent is always overlooked because they feel like they always are set out to want to humble us. He can't help, like we were saying, he can't help the family that he was born into, the riches he was born into. He can't help who his dad is. But if he's someone that really has undeniable talent, there is no way that he should have been looked over because of how you may or may not feel about his dad. That's just,
Yeah,
again,
I'm
to me,
over
it's
it.
just typical white man, how they always want to do us because they feel like we're too cocky, or and I don't even call it cocky. I call it confident. They don't like when you're confident. They like you to be broke, busted, and disgusted so they can take credit for building you up. That's just how they've always done us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I
I
go
ain't
along
been
with you,
down
Chit
too
Chat.
far.
I go
I'm sorry.
along. I go along with what you said. Rejection could be his protection.
It could be, but I know he's heartbroken. You know what I mean? Because he was so what's the word that I want to use? I want to be careful. And I just hope that this doesn't discourage him in that way. I'm just gonna keep it real. Do I think that some of the things he could have toned down? Yes, that's just my personal opinion. Um, but he did not have to. You know what I'm saying? And again, yeah, I'm young. I want to have fun. I want to look good. I want to ride good and all of that. But I just hope it does not break his spirit. You know what I mean? I really, really do. I do think that they did this purposely to chip away at his ego. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want him to say, forget the NFL, period. I don't even want to play now and all of that, because he did have his hopes up very, very high. But to what Sonya said, now I am too. Sonya, last night, I was feeling some type of way about that because, that's when I thought he was going to be picked in the first 10. So I felt like he should have been there, because even that separation, people are looking at, yeah, look at them. They too good to be at the actual draft. They should have been here. But now I am absolutely glad that they were at home, you know? That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, especially for the young men. Just cause you don't like his father, that ain't no reason, not to give him a chance, or whatever. But like I say, what God got for him, he gonna get it. These folk can't hold him down, It just can't hold you down. So, he might not be on there, got picked today, maybe get picked tomorrow, you know.
Yeah.
What can you say? What does this Bow Apple say? He's going to be drafted as a backup. He'll go to a team that needs one. I just hope it's not here with the Cowboys.
Mhm.
She don't want him to be with the Cowboys. That might be the only team take him. So, like I said, sometimes you gotta go where God send you and come up through the ranks. You know what I'm saying? It builds character.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
true.
that's probably what it might be. I really don't know that much about football. Simone Wealthy says the owners have collectively shut him out. We lost our leverage with the NFL when we didn't boycott the NFL during and after the Kaepernick situation. They're Kaepernicking him. They're letting us know we run this.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. You got all the football greats. Michael Irvin made a post. Well, not made a post, but he's a Hall of Famer, if I'm not mistaken. He said he has no idea why Shador wasn't drafted in round one. So it says plain as day to me. And even though I don't want him to give up and be discouraged, how could you not? It's like, damn, do I really want to go and play? After being involved in football since he was 3 or 4 years old. I saw another post, and this is so true. They said that here's a kid. I got it up in front of me. Here's a kid. We don't run it though, Teresa. We run it in numbers of how many black NFL players there are and how many black NBA players, but this is as plain as day that we don't run shit. Okay. But this post said, here's a kid who grew up with all the money in the world, traveled, lived in mansions, the whole 9 yards. And yet he chose to pursue his passion. He chose to get hit for a living. He chose to pursue a career in football, despite the fact he would always be compared to Deion, the best to ever do it. And he said, this person said, that's pretty freaking admirable to him. And that's true. I'm already rich. He could have just been a spoiled rich kid. He went after his dreams, and they gonna do him like this. It's a damn shame.
Well, why the Bears ain't down there getting the boy? Hell, they need everything. Janitor, quarterback, fullback, running back, receiver. They need some of everything here. So what's wrong with y'all Bears? Go on down there and get the young man here. Shit. Get the janitor too, cause we need some cleaning up around here. Y'all now. I tell you. You know, it's sad, you know, but like I said, God, he gonna be what God want him to be, and he gonna get his time to shine. Man can't hold you down for what God got for you, and that's just how I look at that. You know, it's a shame that the boys are penalized because the NFL or whoever make the decisions don't like their father, and now they gotta pay the price. That's what's sad about it.
Mm-hmm.
These are gifted young men. You say they talented, and they're being held back and pushed to the side because people don't like they dad. That's the hurting part of it to me. Because they're not being judged on their merits and their talent. They're being judged because people don't like their father. And that's what's sad about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish both young men and the other young man that was with him too. I seen some of their streams today. It was some young man that was with the older one, Shador. I guess
Shiloh.
his friend. Is
Shiloh,
that
Shiloh, the older brother?
okay? Well, which one is Shador that got in the white pretty car, Rolls Royce? I think it was.
That could have been Shador. That's the one we talking about.
Right, the quarterback one. Well, I thought he was the oldest, but he not. Okay, him and his friend, like I said, I seen them throwing the ball. Both of them look like gifted young men. They've been doing this a long time. It's just sad that cause folk don't like your daddy, you don't get no job. You know what I'm saying? That hurt anybody. You go in there and I went to school all these years for this job, and cause they don't like your daddy and your mama, you don't get no job.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's sad, but
Anybody familiar with the Johnny Unitas Award? This post says Shador won the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award this season. Is literally only awarded to the top quarterback in the nation. So he won that award this season, and he's still not selected. That shit is racism, period.
Well, we just have to put it in God's hand. Now, what round they on now?
They may be done with day 2. I don't know. They was on 80 something a couple minutes ago. I don't know how many more they have for today. Today is round 2. So somebody said it has 4 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Simone, and you're right. But like I said earlier, put your foot down. That means I don't care what your daddy said. You are now an NFL player. This is your coach. This is who you take your orders from as far as what to do on that field and all of that. Don't do this because you don't know if he's not coachable yet. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everybody deserve a chance. Let's just say that. Everybody deserve a chance, whether they daddy is the president or the janitor. Everybody deserve a chance. He worked hard. He deserve a chance.
I agree, and I think a lot of the coaches will be intimidated too, because having the Deion Sanders son on the team, And I feel like they would possibly be feeling that, Deion would be second guessing, their choices, because Deion has been in the game for quite a while. They shouldn't, but you know how some people are just really intimidated, especially when it comes to us as Black people. And, they cheat us out of opportunities because of their own insecurities and feeling like, maybe I wouldn't be, you know, how I should be to be coaching, a kid of the Deion Sanders, feeling like Deion may possibly second guess their decisions or whatever. It's stupid, but these are politics of sports.
Mm-hmm.
These are the politics when you have the pink people that are the top and make all of the decisions. They
Yeah.
get to pull the strings, and if you don't go the direction they want you to go, it's always an issue. We majority of us have been in corporate America for many years, and this is typically some of the same things that happen when we know we deserve to have a specific role
Mm-hmm.
in a specific leadership position, but they will give it to somebody who produces less than, just because we can have all of the credentials, we could come to work every day on time, never any issues, no write-ups or nothing. They will still give it to somebody else because they feel like we're too much of something. I remember when I was working at a previous job, and I had applied for a supervisor position at that time years ago, and I was told that I didn't get the role because I was too quiet, and they didn't think that I would be a good leader. Like,
Mm-hmm.
who tells somebody that you're too quiet? That's because I wasn't loud and boisterous like a lot of the Black people that were there. I wasn't ghetto. I was very professional. I came to work, I did my job, and they could not
Mm-hmm.
deny that I could do my job. The credentials, they try to say you got to have a degree in this, had all the degrees, had everything, undeniable. But they
Yeah.
gave it to somebody that came from being a barista at Starbucks and had
Wow.
a music degree and no degree in accounting and finance that they tell us as the Black people that we got to have.
Wow.
Mm,
Mm-mm-mm.
mm,
That's
mm, mm.
terrible.
That's why I say life ain't always fair, you know, but God got you. And you probably went on to do greater things and didn't even need that position.
And is and
See?
did. And they had the nerve to think I was going to train. But you crazy. I don't
Okay.
be training to pay.
Absolutely not.
No, ma'am.
And that's what God will do. See, that's what I'm talking about.
No, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Well, another heartbreaking story that came out of the draft, and I said, "Wow, the power of a Black woman." There was another guy that was drafted yesterday named Derek Harmon, and his mom was in the hospital. I don't know of what illness, but I'm assuming it was terminal. He was drafted yesterday, went straight to the hospital, let her know that he had been drafted, and she passed away. And I
Oh,
said,
ooh.
Mama was holding on
She
to
was.
make sure her baby dreams came to fruition, and she passed. She passed away. Sad. Same night he was drafted, you know?
Oh. Well, did he get a chance to tell her that he had been
Yes,
drafted? And
yes,
they
yeah, that's what I was saying. He actually got drafted and he went to the hospital. I thought, well, let's just say allegedly, because I heard one story that he called her and told her. But another Huffington Post said that he actually visited her yesterday after he had been drafted, and shortly thereafter, she passed away. So she was holding on for her baby
She
to make it,
was.
you know?
Yes, that's sad right now. That's a sad story right there. That's so sad.
Mhm. Mhm.
Bad Apple says, I also honestly don't believe it has anything to do with Dion. I just think I just think they
They
like
don't
Fedora's personality.
they
They
don't
don't
like.
like the impression that he's made on the public.
Mhm.
Uh,
Do
I,
you mean they don't like his personality, Good Bad Apple? Which again should have nothing to do with his damn talent. You know what I mean? Even if you drafted him and you say, look, we need you to tone it down a little bit, even though I think that's wrong. Don't deny his talent for bullshit crap.
Because we don't like the orange man's
Right. I
personality
don't like
either, but
your ass.
there he sit in the White House.
You know what I mean? Right. So yeah, don't do that. And they've done it. So even if it is 7 rounds, somebody said correction is 7 rounds. I just looked it up. There are 7 rounds. And how dare them? That's all I gotta say. How dare you do this?
Well, Mrs. Ireland Duncan says, I hear, and it is alleged that Shador got a call on his open line. How about it was a hack? The clear voice on the other line said, you're gonna have to wait a little longer. What the heck?
Right? What the somebody you saying he was on the phone on stream and somebody called him? I think his daddy would have went off with that. Is that
That's
what you
what
said?
that's what Miss I'm reading what Miss Duncan say now. I understand. She said, I hear, and it was alleged that Shador got a call on his open line. How about it was a hack? The clear voice on the other line said, you're gonna have to wait a little longer. Wait for what? Wait, no. Oh, wait. That's okay. Like I said, y'all say 7 rounds. He gonna go where God got a blessing for him.
And ball out.
God got a blessing for him. Them folk can't stop what God got for that young man, him or his brother.
That's true.
And they can't stop that now. See, got to have some. We just, keep praying. I pray and hope he get with a team. He like the coach. They like him. He do a good job. And go on with his life. Him and his brother. Whatever position the brother play as well. Just hope for the best. That's all you can do in this situation. It might not have been drafted first, but his dad time gonna come. And I don't know what the Bears waiting on. Go on down there and get that young man. He fresh, he young. It's dumb, though. And it's a lot of young men, I guess all these, from what I seen when they showed them boys running and them young men's, they was running and jumping and lifting weights and all kind of stuff. I said, you got to do all that to get on the team.
You got to work it out.
Running and jumping and jump up high and catching a little shit. Jump through the hoops. I said, oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm praying that Jacksonville pick him up so him and Travis could be together. I don't know if they have any more picks left, and that's just me. I would love that. But, I get it. Just the longer it takes them, it's just still just so unfair to me. It really is.
And here goes Teresa. She said, Aunt Debbie, you got Khalid Williams. Who is that?
Caleb.
Yeah, that's probably the name. I said it wrong. Caleb.
I think they just don't like the fact that he's already coming with old money. They can't wiggle a couple dollars in his face and he's going to be impressed about it because he already got money. I think that bothers. They don't like when we already have what we have. And it's just unfortunate. I think that's a lot to do with it because you can't just wiggle a couple dollars in his face and just think he's going to be all gung-ho to do whatever you want him to do for a couple dollars. And that bothers them. But it's unfortunate. We'll see. I'm praying that somebody picks him. And like you say, sis, he just balls out because his heart really is football. It's not like he's just doing it because I'm Deion Sanders' son. He's doing it because he really has a passion for ball. He's been balling his whole life. So, what boy wouldn't want this to be a part of their dream? And this is like a once in a lifetime situation.
Yeah, sure.
He gonna get what's coming to him. I just truly believe that. Now, Patricia T say it's political, and those owners are rump supporters. They're letting Daddy know he's not running. Well,
Ish.
the other word. Ish in this town, I guess. I like I say, it's just sad that those boys got to be penalized because people don't like their daddy.
Yeah.
You know, and that I just put it like I feel like this: if it was their son, they would want their son treated that way.
Oh, they've done it before.
You know,
They ride for theirs.
because
Mhm.
I seen where shoes after all that shit, they're gonna be tired by the time they get where they picked supposed to be. Hell, they're gonna be tired and fucking at them running, jumping, and touching, and Lord have mercy. I guess they be in good shape though. They be in good shape because they sure was running and jumping and everything else. So, it's just a good thing. I just hope they stay true to themselves and don't get around the wrong peoples and be hollering about high value and all this other crazy kind of stuff. Stay away from that, young man. Be yourself. Just do you. Let God guide you and let God put you into the manhood you should be. You know, that's what I pray for them. Because there's a lot of people out there. Get impressionable young men like that and sway them into garbage, you know what I'm saying? And mess a good thing up. That's what I
Mhm.
pray. Then make look at my tail. Then then he play the football.
Did he?
I think so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he said he played football. He said, what, the quarterback now?
Hmm.
What happened there? Oh, he probably wasn't no good and he can't even read the playbook. I don't believe nothing he said. He probably was good in high school, but
Mm.
he probably didn't have the ability to read the playbook and be able to get the plays down. And you got to be able to read, I guess, in football. Maybe he just didn't, maybe he couldn't read. Maybe he won't do what the coach say, or maybe he was out to lunch. I don't know.
God damn say, baby, you could read.
Good point, L'Oreal.
Poor thing. Uh, L'Oreal say it's move makers home decor. That's L'Oreal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It's the fact that he plays quarterback. They don't want a black quarterback leading the team. Oh,
Yeah, but a black quarterback just won the Super Bowl. I get it, and I think that you right about that too. I think it's a lot, that plays into this. But when you look at the Jalen Hurts just won the Super Bowl, black quarterback. Look at Sierra's husband, Russell Wilson, black quarterback. You know,
and you know, I just if he don't get picked tonight, just keep on practicing, boo. Somebody gonna come along and get you. Somebody gonna come along and get you now. We ain't gonna just give up. And he a good young man. He seems like, but I like that other one. He sure is cute. The older one. What part he
Shiloh,
from?
yes, Shiloh is very handsome.
Yeah, he's a handsome young man. You know, kind of quiet, like what I'm saying. And everything gonna
Yeah,
work out.
Shiloh does seem to be the more
grounded.
yes,
Mhm.
and I would say humble. He's more quiet.
Uh-huh.
He seemed like a nice fella. You
Is
know
he
what I'm saying?
older? Is Shiloh older?
Yes,
Okay,
Shiloh is older than Shador.
okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, okay. He seemed like a nice young man, grounded. You know what I'm saying? He seemed more grounded. The other one, he's bolder. You could
That's a
see.
good word, bold.
Yeah, he's bold. So,
Mhm.
we just gonna pray for the best and hope for the best. Might get picked. Can they pick you in the middle of the night? Or just can somebody just? Well, I don't know that much about football. You say it's a draft, so I guess they go in the order of the teams Is that the way that's done?
Yeah,
I'm
they
not sure.
alternate. So what the teams do, they can trade their picks for a different number with another team that's willing to select. And, it's a lot of hustling going on. Good night, Rose. A lot of hustling going on. So, yeah.
Good night, Rose. Is it? Let me ask this question: can somebody just out and out offer him a contract with their team since he has not been picked up or drafted? Can that
I
happen?
don't I don't think so. You mean without them doing it through the draft? I
Yeah.
think after the draft is over, they can, but I don't know if they can do that like now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't think so.
It just seems like it seemed like since they, I guess just coming out of school, they got to go through the draft in order to get picked by a team. And I guess the ones that don't get picked, what happens to them?
Hmm.
Or does everybody get picked? It's just that it's a matter of time.
Oh, well, you're saying what happens to the ones that don't get picked in the
Yes.
draft? I guess
Yeah.
they go back to still playing with their college team, and some of them actually goes over and play overseas.
And you know what? That's a good answer because Shador is technically what? He just finished his sophomore year. Sis, do you know? I think it was his
Uh, I want to say,
Yeah, I think it was his sophomore year because the first year, let's see, this was it says second year at Colorado, right? So this is his junior year
yeah, junior
because
because
the
he
first year was
played
Jackson
freshman
State,
at Jackson State.
right? Then Colorado, and then they had the second season, very successful season. Shiloh is done, so Shiloh even took the route where he can continue to play with Deion. He graduated from Jackson State, but he went into whatever that extended program is, where he was allowed to play for Colorado, even though technically, I think they started taking a small, not smaller, the minimum in classes, so that way he would have to go back to college. You know what I'm saying, to play for his dad. But I don't think with him graduating, naturally he can't go back to Colorado. And I don't know if, again, it boils down to the ego. That would be so crushing for Shador to have to do, go back and play for his dad. You know how ignorant these people are in the world. Just imagine.
Hmm.
And what I don't like is the NFL has absolutely benefited off of them not selecting Shador all day today. Nothing on ESPN and all these other sports network. All they was talking about was Shador. All on social media, Shador trending every platform. So if he made that big of an impact where he's the topic of conversation, again, how was he not selected? So, yeah, free agent. Thank you,
And that's why
Toffee.
they're
That's what they are.
intimidated.
Free agent. Yeah.
Gloria says he can be a walk on after the draft.
And Toffee said they will be called a free agent. And that's true. If you're a free agent, and move makers, L'Oreal. That's what I said last night. I still stand on that. And look, there's nothing wrong with it. But I do think that, a lot of these players that were selected, for instance, yesterday, this is the first time they're seeing money. You know what I mean? They've never been able to be cocky or flaunt or whatever the case may be. But he did have a lot of cockiness in him, but he got it naturally. He got it from his dad. You know what I mean? But some of them that were drafted yesterday, yeah, now they're gonna go out and battle Rolls Royce. Shador already got it. Now they're gonna go out and battle Lambos. Them boys already got it. Now they can get the chains and the homes and all of that. So I can't help who I was born to, but Deion didn't buy any of that stuff. Shador bought all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He's a multimillionaire himself. So, it's just sad. It's sad. So prayers going up to him. Let's go.
Gia. Look at Gia out there trying to
That's
be
why I put it up
a
there. Y'all see that? Look what Gia
Yeah,
said.
that's what we just talked
Gia.
about. Drea. We just talked about Drea's ass, Gia, and here you go. Milo can get it, child. Shot now. Jalen can get it. I'm sorry. Today, tomorrow, the next day, next week, morning, noon,
Jalen
night.
just got married. He just got married.
Oh, damn. That's right. He got married this week. Jalen Hurts is 90s fine. You guys remember how the men in the 90s used to look, baby? Crisp, clean. Aunt Debbie, you ever seen Jalen Hurts?
No, I've
Baby,
never seen him.
you're gonna have to Google him. He got them deep dimples. So I respect marriages, child, but Jalen could have got it. This old cougar would have had, like Monique said, breakfast ready, dinner ready, lunch ready, snacks, driving up to I would have been driving up to the NFL facilities. You need anything, baby? I was just in the neighborhood. I would have been looking for Jalen in the daytime with a flashlight. You hear me? That man is fine. Fine. Yeah.
Well, Gia says my ex played for the Bears and was picked up after the draft.
That's good. That's good.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yeah, we gonna hold out the hope, you know.
Right.
And sis, look, I like the cockiness too, but we have to admit sometimes you can be too cocky. You know what I'm saying? And I think that played a part. We know you got it. It ain't tricking if you got it. So if I got it, I could afford all this and all of that. But I just think that that rubbed a lot of them the wrong way, and it shouldn't have. But I get it. You know, we've been talking about all night insecure ass men and their egos and all of that. So I do see a lot of them saying, "Well, look, how dare you come up here and you already got this and you already got that?" You know. I'm sorry, Mary. Jalen,
but they earned it though. Those boys
did.
even have their own businesses and everything.
Yeah,
yeah, because he was the Shadur, he was talking about real estate, but he said his father told him to wait because if he buy a house now and put these things in it before it's done, he might want to change his mind. So he said he is interested in real estate.
Yeah, and I agree. They are business owners. They have their own brands. They have all of that. I'm just saying when it comes to the sports and you know, for instance, and it's only his first year, but little Bronny James. Bronny was in college. Bronny now play for the team that his dad is on. I hate to say this and say it in this way.
Can't even play ball. They're good.
Right, but what I'm saying is he's well-to-do, rich, period, point blank. He wasn't a showboater. Showboating should not come into play when it comes to Shador's talent, but Deion is a showboater. Shador is a showboater. Shiloh got a little bit in him. Deion Jr. as well. They are, I don't want to say braggadocious because they got it. You're right, they earned it. But we just have to keep it real. A lot of people look at them and be like, "Oh, there they go again." You know what I mean? So it shouldn't matter when it comes to his talent. Period. For me,
it shouldn't. And if the least they can say is that he's cocky and arrogant, I'll take that any day of them calling him somebody's baby daddy with 5 kids and beating women and all of that kind of stuff. I would take the cockiness over that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I take that over them being one of them old manospheres red pill men. I take that.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm praying for.
But Patricia T says when the Sanders was at JSU, I guess that's Jackson State University, I attended every home game. Shador was good back then. So, you know, she said he was a good player.
I think he's been good. You know, I don't know if she means attitude wise or skill wise, but he was good at Jackson State and he was even better at Colorado. He really, really was. So that's the thing. The whole conversation when it comes to these boys stems from the lifestyle, and it shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I can't help that. But I said it last night. You know, yes, he was cocky. Yes, he was arrogant. Yes. Still, that shouldn't. I was never a college football watcher. And when Deion went to Colorado and the streak that they were on and all of that, my sister and I was up Saturday mornings on the phone yelling some of the plays that Shador made with seconds left in the game. You know, Travis is awesome, and I'm happy for him. Travis wouldn't have made a lot of those plays if it wasn't for Shador's arm and his talent. You know, him reading and know where to throw the ball, when to throw it, hold off a little bit until Travis get in place, and all of that is it's racism. Period. That's just it for me.
Well, Jalen Hurt, Monique says Jalen Hurts went through a lot in Philly, but he overcame it all.
He did with his fine ass.
Gloria says just because you are chosen late in the draft, you still have to make the team in preseasons. Those cuts are harsh.
Oh, y'all want to hear this? They said Shador, that was a prank call. I just brought it up. Undeb, you want me to play it?
Yes, ma'am. You can play it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Play it now.
Okay. Somebody said in the chat, Shador, and I just got on Hollywood Unlocked and they got it. They said Shador Sanders get prank called from a person pretending to be an NFL team. That's some straight bullshit.
Yeah, how they get his number though? These folks got a way of doing everything. They got a way of doing everything. Young man, change your number.
This is cruel.
The inside job.
Hold on. His brother got excited. It's not loud enough on Debbie. But Shiloh had the phone. He rushed over to Shador like this an NFL team. It's an NFL team. Shador grabs the phone and it was a prank call.
That ain't right now. That ain't right.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's shameful there. Patricia T says Shador is going to be like Jalen. When he was at Alabama, they benched him for a non-black quarterback. He transferred and was up and popping from then on. Teresa Rice say right inside job.
Yeah.
Hey, Girlfriend Chronicles, she say that is horrible. And that is horrible. And Mary Willis say, BS, you know what she mean by that? You know,
they saying in the chat, keep playing with God's children. That's one thing I like about Deion. And those boys do pray and all of that. You know, wow, these people are cruel.
That was dirty there. That's some dirty. See, that's some old dirty hearted shit I be talking about. People do. Mood Makers Home Decor says definitely humbled him. He need a little humble pie. Those interviews were crazy, and you can't walk and talking ish saying it must be hate in my last name. They gonna pick him, but damn it, don't talk crazy. Well, okay. All right now. I don't know about all that. I just think that was dirty right there. Call the boy and act like you're an NFL team. And to match, you even picked him up and know you ain't even got no damn team. See, that kind of stuff there, that's just messing with people. You know what I'm saying? That's some dirty crap right there. And somebody who hit his number did that. I don't know who got your number, son, but change your number. Change your number tonight. Or turn the phone on. Teresa Rice says, I was shocked that Jalen Milroy got chosen before Shador. And they're both black. Now, who is Jalen Milroy? What he done?
Well, that's why you know it's personal, like we've been saying. It's personal.
Ms. Duncan said, don't nobody deserve that. I got to ride for my black kings, except Shannon Sharp. She said she'll ride for the black king, but she ain't going to ride for him. She ain't going to ride for him. Well, ladies, this has been great.
It has. It really has. Thank you, Aunt Debbie, for hosting tonight.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for getting me through these hard times.
Oh, you
give you your flowers. I appreciate you.
Oh, Aunt Debbie, no need, no need.
Now,
You
when
are
you open up that class, everybody in the chat, when
welcome.
Chit Chat open that school,
Mhm.
y'all get in there.
I know that's
She
right.
is a great teacher.
She is.
And
No,
if you want to learn about YouTube, get it from the best. And
no,
that is Chit Chat with QT.
no. Thank you, Aunt Debbie. Thank you.
I love it. I love you. And pink table topics. I've been looking at your classes too, business class. You know, cause I'm gonna tell y'all something now. You want to learn
Hmm.
YouTube, but business will help you with this too.
That's right.
Mhm.
Cause you've made me see that YouTube is a business.
It is.
Absolutely.
See,
Yes.
y'all, I'm over here learning with the best. Y'all better come on over here now. Come on over here. These sisters got it and they laying it down. And they don't
Thank you,
mind
Aunt
sharing.
Debbie.
They
You
don't
know
mind
we love
sharing. That's
you,
why
Aunt
they
Debbie.
blessed. Better blessed by the best. Yes, yes. So I like to thank everybody for being in the chat. I hope
No,
y'all had a good time, even though we had some technical difficulties.
That's
I
all
thank
right. We
y'all
made
for
it work.
riding with me. I
We
appreciate you.
made it work, Aunt Debbie.
that's right. We
We
did
gonna
what needed
figure it out.
for real.
Well, any last words, chit chat?
Can we go to pink table topics first?
Yes, you can. Come on, pink table topic.
Great live as always, Aunt Debbie. I totally enjoyed it. Just like you said, we had some technical difficulties in the beginning, but that's okay because the devil can't stop greatness.
That's
We
right.
still made it work, and we appreciate each and every one of y'all. When we had y'all bouncing from place to place, y'all followed
Yeah.
right on where we was telling y'all to go. And we appreciate you all for your patience and for coming
Yeah.
on back over here and just engaging in the topic and just riding out. We enjoy y'all on Fridays. But I love it. I love it. I love you, sis. I love you, Aunt Debbie. And I
Love you,
just
sis.
enjoyed it. You know, I love my no cap sisters.
Yes,
Love
ma'am.
you too.
Love you. Love you. My final thoughts, yes, Aunt Debbie. Excellent, excellent topic. I knew it was gonna be nice when I saw your description. I was so confused because I don't know, for some reason when I looked at it on my desktop, I thought it was a part of your title. And I was like, yes. Aunt Debbie said, whatever, have value men that ain't got no value or whatever. But it was an awesome conversation. You picked a good one, Aunt Debbie. Thank you for the I don't know if I want to say compliments or whatever, but I thank you, Aunt Debbie. You know, you've been out here doing the damn thing before you had a channel. So I'm so happy that you've taken it by storm. You're doing the damn thing. Same to you, sis. I agree with Aunt Debbie when it comes to your channel as well, and just giving us the tricks and trades of the business side of things in life. And it's been amazing. So shout out to you ladies as well. Excellent no cap show. Next week we will be at Pink Table Topics. And we'll definitely have our after hours on Patreon after on next Friday. But we're gonna have Patreon tomorrow as well. So I thank you guys. This was amazing. Shout out to the chat.
I like to thank everybody for being here and thank my wonderful co-hosts. These are two brilliant ladies now. Y'all better get on in there, get some of this knowledge now when they open up that school. Come on over here now. We got it going on. We got the best, so come on. These ladies are great teachers. They willing to help you and they patient and loving and y'all know them. So when
Mhm.
they open up that class, the school, join in. I like to thank you both ladies.
You're
It's been a
welcome.
wonderful night, and check out Chit Chat and Pink Table Topics. Go to their pages, like and subscribe, and turn on those notifications because you're going to always get some wisdom and knowledge there.
Thank you,
So,
Aunt Debbie.
y'all go on over there. And we had a wonderful night. It's been a
Yes,
good
we
show.
did.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to next Friday with Pink Table Topics.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
And we'll see all you ladies tomorrow in Patreon, right? We're going to Patreon.
Yeah, I'll probably be on YouTube too at some point tomorrow. We shall see. We shall see. I
Okay.
gotta squeeze in a lunch date with my aunt, and they like to turn that into the casino after. But I'm gonna come up with some excuse, child.
Well,
Have
you know you
fun.
got to have a life show. We know you got to have a life show. You just let us know, and when you put the notification out, you know we're gonna come a running.
You
Yeah.
know it.
All right. Well, you ladies have a great evening.
You
Good
too.
night, and thank my mods, Teresa and Mary Willis. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Y'all the best mods. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ladies.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Chad, for joining us.
We love y'all.
And pray for Shador and Shiloh, child. I'm about to grieve in front of the TV right now. I'm about to get on Twitter and go off. I mean, me on Twitter. I'm about to go off.
Get up in them comments and get to slanging and bang.
Baby, I'm gonna go from my regular page though. I don't want them to come over here to my chit chat. You know, they like chit chat with QT. Let me see if she got a YouTube channel. I'm gonna go from my regular page. I'm about to snap. It ain't gonna make a difference, but whatever. But all right, guys. Love you guys.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.